Rebirth. We all want one, but few will get one. Fewer still will be ready for it. John Perry is 75 years old. He's lost his wife, lost his purpose, and he's fast losing hope. So when a recruitment drive from Earth's Colonial Defense Force turns up on his doorstep, he doesn't hesitate. This is his chance at rebirth. The CDF takes the elderly, the weak, the weary, and the disillusioned, then molds them into weapons of war. As soon as he signs on the dotted line, his memories are scooped from his mind, compressed into a data slate, and filed away. His DNA is whipped into a new body, a body that's stronger than his old one, faster, more resilient. It feels like being young again, like he could take on the galaxy. And that's exactly what they want. When his training is complete, John Perry is dropped onto an alien world. A world that's just a little bit like Earth, except the vegetation is purple and the wildlife is trying to eat it. The plan was to send in veteran soldiers who knew how to fight and win. But a mutiny on the flagship had thrown the best-laid plans into chaos. And now Perry finds himself leading a squad of fresh-faced recruits against an enemy he has never seen before. It's hot, it's humid, it's frustrating. And before long, the first of his squad start dropping like flies. As the days turn into weeks and the weeks turn into months, Perry sees his new body change. His muscles grow. His skin darkens and hardens. It's like he's turning into the very planet he's fighting on. And yet he's never felt healthier, never felt more alive. He battles through the alien jungle and eventually emerges into the void of space, where he has to battle in zero gravity. But wherever he goes, he wins. Perry is a killing machine. But underneath the hardened exterior, something else is happening. Memories are leaking back into his mind. Memories of his old life. Memories of his wife. Memories of his pain. Memories that the CDF said would be gone forever. One by one, those around him begin to... And the more time he spends in the field, the more Perry begins to fear that the CDF didn't just rebuild him. They rewired him. They gave him a new life. But in doing so, they erased his humanity. He's become a tool, nothing more than a cold, hard weapon. In the end, he's given one final mission, one last test. But in the face of impossible odds, Perry has only one thing left to do. He charges in, guns blazing, ready to die. But as he does, he realizes there might be more to existence than the one life the CDF gave him. There might be a way back, a way to remember who he once was. For John Perry, the war is over, but the battle to reclaim his soul has only just begun. The question is, can he win it? As much as we hate to admit it, our bodies betray us. They hurt, they break, they're wicked. But sometimes there's a solution. Sometimes we can find a way to fix what's wrong. Sometimes we can choose rebirth. At 75, John Perry was tired of living. He was tired of the pain and the loss. All he wanted was peace. But peace is a luxury you can afford when the fate of the human race hangs in the balance. The year is 2154 and humanity is spread among the stars. New worlds have been found, colonized and claimed as their own. But Earth is no longer the powerhouse it once was. Its resources are stretched thin. Its armies are underfunded, and its colonies are being picked off one by a ruthless alien force known only as the Swarm. Earth's last hope lies with the Colonial Defense Force, a ragtag group of misfits and rejects who are willing to do whatever it takes to win the war. But the CDF isn't looking for experienced soldiers. It needs cannon fodder, and that's where John Perry comes in. He's old, he's weak, he's almost useless. In other words, he's perfect. When Perry arrives at the CDF recruitment drive, he's met by a man named Simon Collar, a tall, muscular man with a shaved head and a goatee. Collar is a recruiter, but he's also a soldier. And Perry can tell that he's seen his fair share of battles. I see you got my message, Collie says with a grin. You know why you're here. Right, Perry nods. Today Collie laughs. Wrong, you're here because you want to live. Don't lie to yourself, old man. You're scared of dying. That's why you're here. Perry looks down at his feet. Maybe you're right. Good, Callie says, clapping a hand on Perry's shoulder. Then let's get you signed up. Perry's induction into the CDF is swift and brutal. He's stripped naked and examined by a medic, then given a physical that would make any young man faint. Finally, he is led into a room where a technician hooks him up to a machine that scans his brain. Don't worry, the technician says with a smile. This won't hurt a bit. We're just copying your memories onto this slate. Think of it as your personal cloud storage. We'll keep everything safe for you. But Perry isn't reassured. He's terrified. He knows that once his memories are gone, there's no coming back. Are you sure about this? Cola Perry asks. Can't I just go home? You can't go home, Cola says. You don't have a home anymore. You're a soldier now. You're part of this. And with that, Perry's memories are gone. Life as a soldier is hard, especially when you're old and out of shape. Perry struggles to keep up with the younger, stronger recruits. He stumbles through obstacle courses, drops his rifle, and misses target after target. But Callie watches him with a critical eye and a small smile. You're not as useless as I thought you were, he says one day. You may be slow, but you're persistent. And that's what I like to see. Perry shrugs. What else can I do? I'm too old to run, too weak to fight. All I can do is try. And try he does, and slowly but surely, Perry begins to improve. He still can't run fast or hit a target, but he's better than he was before, and that's all that matters. Finally, the day comes when Perry is deemed fit for deployment. He and his squad are loaded onto a transport ship bound for a remote colony on the edge of human space. Their mission is simple: deliver supplies and defend the colony from the swarm. But Perry can tell that things won't be so simple for long. As the transport ship approaches the colony, Perry sees a fleet of alien ships emerge from hyperspace. The CDF soldiers open fire, but the swarm ships are too fast, too well protected. Within minutes, the transport ship is a smoking wreck, and Perry finds himself fighting for his life in the wreckage of a crashed ship on an alien world. The CDF lied to him. They never gave him a choice. The rain is coming down in torrents, washing away the blood and the dirt. Perry stumbles through the alien jungle, his body aching, his mind numb. He'd been captured by the swarm and tortured for information, but he didn't know anything. He's just a supply runner, for God's sake. But that didn't stop them from beating him, burning him, breaking him. As he runs, he can feel his body changing, adapting to the harsh environment of this alien world. His skin grows leathery, his muscles bulge, his bones harden. It's like he's turning into the very planet he's fighting on. But as he fights to survive, Perry begins to remember who he was, what he loved, why he lived. He remembers his wife. He remembers his family. And with each memory that comes back, he becomes more human, more real. But it's a dangerous game he's playing. If the swarm catches him, he'll be tortured again. If the CDF finds him, they'll dissect him, study him, turn him into a lab rat. But Perry doesn't care. He'll risk anything to remember who he is. And in the end, it's his humanity that saves him. The swarm doesn't understand love, family, or loyalty, but Perry does. And that gives him the strength he needs to fight. When the CDF finally finds him, they're shocked. Perry's body is covered in scars. His eyes are filled with madness. But they take him back anyway. He's one of theirs now, whether he likes it or not. And as he's carried away, Perry can hear the voice of Kalar echoing in his ears. You're a soldier. You're part of the CDF. But Perry isn't listening. He's looking back at the jungle, back at the world that tried to break him. He may be a soldier now, but he's not their soldier. He's John Perry, and he'll die. John Perry, we all want a second chance. A chance to do things differently, to make different choices, to live a different life. But sometimes second chances don't come easy. Sometimes we have to fight for them. Perry is old. He's broken, and he's alone. But he's also strong, resilient, and full of surprises. What he lacks in youth, he makes up for in experience, cunning, and determination. Now it's time for the final battle, a battle that will determine the fate of the human race. Perion leads his squad into the heart of the swarm, knowing that they may never come back. But as they charge forward, he can feel the power surging through him. The power of the planet, the power of the hive mind, the power of the swarm. He's changed. He's evolved. He's become something more than human. But is that a good thing or a bad thing? In the end, it doesn't matter. Perry has one final decision to make, one last choice to make. Will he choose life or death? Will he choose humanity or the swarm? And in choosing, he will decide the fate of us all. If you enjoyed this story, please leave a like and subscribe for more sci-fi adventures.